Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be demonstrating for you the crochet rose, the crochet leaf, and the crochet stem, and we're going to put everything together today. So here we are going to start off with 26 chains. You can go ahead and find the pattern on my blog. I'll have everything listed down below. Here we have 26 chains, and the pattern says to single crochet in that second stitch from the hook. So this is the first, here's our second chain from the hook, and here's our first stitch, a single crochet. Right next to it, we're going to make 3 double crochets. Go through 2 and 2. We're going to do that 2 more times in that same chain. These 3 double crochets in that same stitch is going to create like a little wave, creating the little petals for our rose. Now on these next 2 chains, we're going to slip stitch. And then on the next one, we are going to make 3 double crochets and then slip stitch in the next 2, and you want to continue that pattern until you reach the end of the chain like we did right here. So here I have already made a rose, and I've completed and finished with the 2 slip stitch at the end. I finished over here, I changed one, and then I fastened off, leaving a tail to sew in and hold all the petals together. So what we're going to do is going to put the rose and sew it up, and we want to start with this end. So you can see this is the front, you can have the petals right there, and this is the back. So we're going to roll in. We're going to start rolling each of the petals right on top of each other. And you can see that's how it looks from the back. Keep rolling. And rolling and rolling. Just like that. And that's how the back is going to look. It's going to look like little swirls inside. Now you do want to have your yarn needle on the end before you start rolling to help you start sewing in. So I like to go in a circle. So you can see this is where that last petal lays flat there. So I'm going to place the needle right through the center of that petal, and I'm just going to try and go through each of the swirls through that bottom of the chain all the way to the center, going all around to secure the back of the rose. So I'm going through all 3 as much as I can grab to secure the rows together. At first it is pretty hard to see where it is how far down do you go, but once you do it in person, you're going to be able to tell a little bit better. And go ahead and sew this as many times as you need to, and you can see the rose is being held together pretty well with those few stitches we made. And then to fasten off, I'm going to create a loop here. Now, if you're going to be using this rose for the bunny's head, you want to leave that piece of yarn. But if you're doing the rose for her hand, depending on the way that you'd like to do it, you can just fasten off, because we are going to have some yarn left over with the stem. So here is the little rose. So we're going to continue on with our leaf pattern. So we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to start off by slip stitching in that second chain from the hook. We're going to single crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next chain, and we're going to double crochet in the next 3 chains. One, 2, and the last one here, 3. And we're going to chain. The chain does not count as a hook, as a stitch. I'm sorry. But as you can see, we have the front and the back loops from the previous stitches we just made. We are going to work only on these front loops. So we're going to do the 3 double crochets on the front loop only. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to half double crochet in that next also front loop only. Going to single crochet in the next. And then we're going to end it with a slip stitch at the very top. Okay, and you're going to chain 1 and you're going to fasten off and you're going to weave in both of your ends. Now, when you're finishing up the project, the back side of the leaf is going to be facing you. You want to have this side facing you. This is the right side, which has that nice kind of like leaf look to it. That's kind of what I was going for. So here you have the back loops showing in the front of the pattern. So you're going to go ahead and weave in both of these. And then we are going to continue on and finish off with our stem. To chain, now you can chain as many as you'd like, as long or short as you want the stem or need it to be. But for today, we're going to do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, actually 11. I think the pattern calls for 11. Now, if you turn your chains to the back, you see this is the front of the chains. So when we move it back, you'll see that there are some little bumps in the back, and that is where you're going to single crochet on these little back bumps of the chain. So you want to do it on the second one from the hook. And you're going to go all the way till you finish this row. You're going to go in through these bumps in the back. And here's our last one. Now we're going to chain 1, and we are going to leave a pretty long tail because this is what we're going to use to sew in on all of the other parts that we just made. This one here, we can weave it in. You can just trim the excess yarn of it. We're going to thread our needle. And now this is the front and this is the back of the stem. So once you have those, you're going to place the front facing the back of the rose. And I put it on the lower part of the rose, just like that. And then just sew it on. If you're using this to be on one of the little bunny's hands, you won't be able to see the back of the rose. So it's okay if it's not, the sewing is, you know, you still have a little bit of these little ends sticking out. So now that you have the stem sewed onto the rose, we're going to add in the leaf. Now the leaf can be added here in the bottom. I'm going to put it here on the side. So I'm going to use that same tail of yarn that we got left and just start sewing the leaf on there. Just making sure I try not to go in too far, because you can see here, you don't want to go in grabbing any of the petals from the yarn, from the rose. And now that you have the leaf on here, and if you still have some yarn left over, you can use that to sew on the bunny's hand. And I try and do it to the best of the best way I can. I start off with one first, and here I'm just gonna make sure it's really secured. Grab the other hand. And attach it just like this. The nice thing is that this hides pretty well, so you won't see the stitches. And there you have it. There's the little rose with the little bunny. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you find it helpful. Leave me any questions on the comments down below, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.